Cool. So I figured out after the last time we talked, I was really trying to wreck my head about, your technique, Alex Sills, Brett. All you guys, actually, you guys play a little bit different than Brett, but I found out about myself. Not to make this too much about me and my shortcomings as a player, but the way I developed is I use a ton of left-hand muting. And I think that you guys use basically zero left-hand muting. That all your muting is right-hand muting. Like I was thinking like in the legato lines, I was sort of using the back of my index finger mainly to muffle strings because I'm used to using bigger motions with. Even like when I'm doing, I'm kind of using this to tame the strings I'm not playing.
Interesting.
Your technique, does that exist at all, or is everything just sort of free floating with your left?
Man, I don't know. It's hard to say. I feel like I've always thought about muting coming from back here, so I don't.
So here's a question with right hand muting.
Yeah.
How do you control the strings above where the pick is resting, right? Because I see like hybrid pickers that, which I don't think you're doing a ton of, they use their fingers to actually mute the B and E string, let's say when they're playing the G string. What's happening when you're playing lines on the G string to the strings above it? How are you controlling them?
Well, I can tell you just by thinking about it now. I mean, I definitely feel my index finger like touching the B string. Mm-hmm. So I guess I am doing that. Okay.
But are your fingers on your right hand touching the strings above the strings you're picking?
No. No, they're just like kind of hovering above here. Yeah.
Interesting.
Right. Yeah, I have no clue.
Exploration continues. All right, so we'll figure it out. All righty, so you wrote some lines for the people at home. Yeah. We're going to post a link below to our Patreon, but you don't have to sign up for anything. Or you can go to the store and download basically PDFs and guitar profiles that go along with this lessons that detail the lines we're going to be talking about, that Thomas is going to be teaching us. So in the description, there's going to be a link. It's not going to be a lot of money. We're going to sell them for $7 and make Thomas rich.
Hell yeah, man. So I can buy more silver jubilees.
That's right. So he'll buy the silver Jews. And yeah, so show us some lines. What should we work with?
Okay, so man, what would you want to get? So I have some lines over just a one chord vamp, like a G minor vamp.
That's the perfect thing.
You want to start there? I also have some lines over blue bossa, all the 2/5s. So
let's start with the G minor.
Let's do some G minor. All right, I'll share my screen.
No G minor.
Yeah, man. So everybody can go play these over your freaking Devil Take the Hindmost backing track.
Nice. We'll include that link to that too.
So this first one is actually that little video I sent you.
Yeah.
Over that track.
Oh, sick.
So I'll just play it for people on Guitar Pro. Hold on, Jesus Christ. Is that super loud?
No, it's fine.
So super... I kind of stole some things, too, from that goat lick in Devil Take the Hindmost, but it's kind of influenced by that, but a little different. So you start off in
well, turn off the screen sharing for a minute so these thieves don't just shit.
Yeah, man. Good point. Good point.
Fucking greedy bitches.
All right.
You know what you're thinking, people at home?
Yeah, man. Yeah, not that easy.
I'm gonna blur it.
Yeah, blur it.
It's gonna look like a Japanese dick.
That's good, man. That's good. So it starts off in E flat melodic minor. That's the first scale or whatever. And so these lines are basically right out of just like how to make a line, you know, using like the in the mystery concepts, basically. Yeah. So it's all scalar, right? And most of the time connecting with common tones between scales. So you start off in E flat melodic minor. That's all E flat melodic minor. And now we go into the G minor bebop scale, which is basically like a melodic minor scale where you add the flat 6. So it's that scale.
Okay, so wait a second. So let's break down the very beginning for the folks at home.
So yeah, we're
starting. Yeah. Okay, so that's kind of like thinking D altered on the G7.
Yeah, I'm thinking like C half diminished.
Yeah.
Like kind of like a C half diminished.
Yeah. That's
so.
Cool.
Pretty straightforward. Now just a fragment of that G minor bebop scale. That's it.
Okay, so you're G minor bebop scale, so G melodic minor with a flat 6.
Yep, it's like the Barry Harris scale, but the minor version.
Sure. Okay, I can see that.
And it literally just gets you. I'm just using it to get to this other spot, but it has some common tones with the other scale, so it kind of blurs the lines nicely. Right. And then this note that's in the bebop minor scale is also now in the next scale that we're going to play, which is G mode 3. So now I have this fragment that is straight from Holdsworth. That thing.
Am I playing the last 2 notes right? You just... This thing. I keep noticing this motion. Both you and Brett do like this. When you have like the same fret, it's kind of like almost like you're barring and then like kind of bouncing your knuckle back up.
Yeah, it's like, that's like rolling your finger over. Because I feel like it probably sounds cleaner than if you were to just bar it. You know what I mean?
Okay, but how does the picking work with things like that?
So I have pick, hammer, pick. Pick, hammer,
okay.
And then sometimes it depends. Sometimes that'll just be a hammer on. Sometimes I'll pick that, but sometimes it's a hammer on. And then that's a pull off. Pick.
But that.
Yeah, up right there.
Okay.
Up, down, up. So I'm like alternate picking.
Oh, that's...
Yeah. Now you do the same fragment, but now that's E flat mode 3.
So you moved from
G mode 3 to B flat mode 3. So it's all obviously G mode 3.
Okay, so B mode 3 is kind of like thinking about mode 3 from the 5 chord, right?
Yeah, you think of D7 exactly. So yeah, all the scales that I picked either have to do with G minor or D7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you have G mode 3, and B flat or D mode 3.
So
that make
that's
sense?
sort of like moving.
Yeah.
By the way, that one guy that asked us to turn our delays off, I just want to take a moment to tell him to eat a dick. I turned more delay on. This is multi-tap delay now.
Yeah, I made sure my delay was cranking, man. I almost plugged in my Andy Timmons dual delay for this, but I didn't.
Yeah, it's cool. All right.
Oh man, dude, that was killing me, man. You're like, if you think the delays turn off, I was like, I was dying, man.
Dude, yeah, it's an insane thing. He said it's like it's like when your wife puts on makeup to go chop wood. Like that's the most unrelatable comment in like the history. It's like chop your own. Why are you dressing? Why are you making your wife chop wood for you? First,
a lot of questions. Yeah.
Fuck. All right. Cool.
Is that making sense so far?
It makes as much sense as this music makes, but
yeah. Right. Okay, so when we get there, oh sorry. Now we're gonna.
I'm looking at your picking technique. So now you moved it when it got faster. Never mind.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm really sorry about that because, like, dude, it's a lot of it I don't think about. You know what I mean?
No, I get it, but that's for me, the thing that's like really, honestly, like I've never been too curious about. I mean, I go through phases where I'm super curious about the notes. But I don't know, the technical approach, like the thing that people, I think, don't get about guitar is that the technique that you have will make pathways through this systems possible or impossible.
Yeah, that's true. That's why you have all these different guitar players that phrase completely differently, you know?
Yeah. But the one thing that people are sort of unwilling to really dig deep into and talk about or treat as their individuality is like things that have to do with technique, not things that have to do with harmony, with notes, with rhythm.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I wish I really. And it's like because when I slow things down and look at it, I can see. But I think when things speed up, things change.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Can you play up to their sort of, quick?
Yeah, we'll try to. Something like
that. Can you play the descending Holdsworth fragment?
That thing.
Okay, yeah. Now. Can you play it a tiny bit slower, but not slow? Okay. Yeah, it's weird how like staggered the rhythm gets with where you're picking. And with your playing too, because I was trying to practice a little bit of how you pick, and where you're picking in time is so strange. You know what I mean? With groups of 5 especially, it's just like it has to be something you don't think about. Because it's like for a guy like me, like when I'm trying to think about it, just like that's like the first. Third and fifth 30-second.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it has to be like a technical thing.
Especially like you said, when you start throwing the groups of 5s in there and everything starts going over the bar and stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Where does the line go from there?
God, man, I can't play it all today. It's freaking cold as hell in this room. So after that. We're going to go into a G mode 4 thing. So G mode 4 has a D7 flat 9 chord in it.
Mode 4.
Yeah.
That's the one that's sorry, I'm still working on my expertise. Is that the 6-note tritone apart thing?
The 8-note tritone apart.
Oh, okay. Which one's that's mode 5? I'm thinking.
Mode 5 6-note tritone apart.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And this is a really simple phrase. This is like the Holdsworth phrase that he always does. That phrase.
Yeah. Starting on F sharp?
Starts on G.
How's that picked?
Down, hammer, up, down. See, that's like, I don't know if sometimes this is a fucking pull off and sometimes I was just picking it earlier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but play it fast a few times.
I guess I do pick it when I'm playing fast. That's like pick, pull off, up, slide.
So you are picking more than me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. So you would call this what mode 4?
This is G mode 4. G mode 4.
G mode 4 is the one that starts like G sharp A.
Then yeah.
Yeah.
And then it goes
C
sharp, D, B flat. If you think about it from F sharp, you have that pattern of 4 in tritones. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right.
Yep. So after that, we go back into B flat mode 3 for the rest of the lick, and it's actually we've talked about it before. Well, it's this. It's that whole thing, right?
Yeah, the Holdsworth movement.
The Holdsworth movements, right? Which is, this whole line is kind of that, you know?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. So, then resolves back into G.
Like the flat 7, yeah. Now,
yeah, back into G.
How do you get from the mode 4 lick into the Holdsworth movement?
So I'm kind of seeing this half step or this minor third half step pattern on the B and the high E string, and when I get here, when I get to this note, this is my common tone between mode 4 and mode 3. So when you see the tabs, I have brackets where I'm switching scales, but it's kind of weird because there's so many common tones between the scales that you could think about it in a few different places. Right here is kind of where I'm thinking about mode 3 starting. You know what I mean? But when you play,
I'm so lazy. I just still don't have that one.
It's all good, man. It goes into that thing, right?
Okay, cool.
So, yeah, that's the whole line, and it sounds crazy, but it all has to do with the harmony, or implied harmony, and just G minor.
Can you play the whole thing slow?
Yeah, let's do that.
Sick. Awesome.
Yeah.
Danny, can you imagine writing like a line that long and practicing it?
You think I'm listening to you guys?
Oh, man. That's the longest one. The other ones are a lot shorter. So,
dude, you Texans do it different.
yeah.
We're so lazy. We don't do shit. We're just like, this song is in G. Let's play G minor pentatonic. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, man. That's what hanging out with Brett for like 10 fucking years will do to you, man. You know what I mean?
Awesome. Sick, dude. It's great. I think people will learn a lot also about the physicality. Let's just, before we move on, talk. I've embarrassed myself with the Holdsworth movement so many times, but I want to do it one more time.
Yeah, man.
So physically, like breaking that and that's happening here. What's going on?
Yep. That's like the chunk.
Okay. And it's that rolling thing with your index, right?
Yep.
And
Yeah.
what's going on with the picking?
So this is one pick, and then the rest of these are pull-offs. Pick. So I'm like picking between the strings. And then that's a pull-off. And I think that's a pull-off. Yeah, big pull-off, because these two notes are going to be picked.
Now, no hammer-ons from nowhere, right? Because Brett always talks about...
Sometimes it is. Like sometimes this... Sometimes that's a hammer-on from nowhere. It depends on kind of how you want the line to sound. I find myself doing both. Sometimes I'll pick that note. And sometimes... or it's a hammer-on from nowhere.
Okay, from that point.
So from this note, now we have this other chunk where you go up a tritone, but you can think this pentatonic shape. Yeah. So the false fingering thing. C, B flat. And then that similar thing that we did earlier.
You guys are freaks, okay?
That's it.
Shit.
It's
just so confusing, you know?
The amount of times I've played that lick, you know what I mean? Like when I'm doing it, I'm hating myself as I'm doing it because I've done it. You know what I mean? I'm just like, oh God, this fucking thing again. So it's like, you know, it just becomes one of those things, man. You know?
Yeah.
It's like anything else. Does that make sense though?
That makes perfect sense.
And from there, I can't remember exactly how I resolved, but something like that. Yeah.
Sick. Awesome.
Yeah, man. So that's the first one and probably the longest one.
Let's not share the screen for the rest of them.
I won't share the screen. Yeah, that was dumb, man.
Show us what's happening. So
that was a rookie mistake.
No, that's good. One is good. You gotta. That's how you do it with fentanyl too. You just
one and done.
Yeah.
Here's the second one. All right, so this one's a lot simpler. So this starts off in kind of like G minor pentatonic. Now we're going to go into this mode 3 sequence. This is going to be D mode 3. So I'm basically thinking about I'm sorry, this isn't D mode 3, this is G mode 3. So So I'm thinking about minor 7 arpeggios moving down in major thirds. But it's
what's the first minor?
The first is E flat minor 7. So we have this kind of sequence. So this is talking about hammer-ons from nowhere. This is a hammer-on from nowhere thing. So it's
so the note E flat is a hammer-on? And then it's down, hammer-on from nowhere.
Up, down.
Up?
Yeah, up, down.
That kind of thing?
Got it.
And when
there you go.
Shit, man, that's not good. Now, when you do you pick? Is it a hammer-on to get to the first note of the next arpeggio?
I believe so.
Okay, so to kick start it, there's a downstroke. Then the rest of it to connect is a hammer-on every time. So down. Man, it's so noisy when I do it. I'm making shit. Can you play that a few times? Just, I want to see the motion of your.
Is that kind of making sense?
So it's like your pinky has much more momentum moving, but like the hammer-on from nowhere part is kind of close to the fret.
Yeah, this finger like is hovering right over the strings, you know.
That's that motion. That is so unnatural, but I'll figure it out. Okay, so you started.
That's it.
You played that sequence twice in the beginning?
Yeah, I wrote it twice. It doesn't really matter.
That's that common tone. The B flat basically gets you from the minor pentatonic into the G mode 3 sequence. That is very difficult for me. Okay, so that happens.
That's what happens. So from there, we go into a F mode 6 sequence. F mode 6 has a G minor 7 shell voicing in it, so it's got like a root, flat 7, and the flat 3rd in there. And this is like the only mode 6 lick I know. Right?
Okay. That's a tritone. I only know it because you've showed it to me before.
Yep, it's like a E flat major add 9 kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Tritones, yeah.
Moving in tritones.
Okay. Oh, and it goes straight into there. So.
Yeah, so you're using that F as a common tone to get there. Now we're gonna
picking wise for that section.
That's down hammer, up hammer. Yeah. So from there, we're going to go into a 2-1-2 A flat minor pentatonic pattern. So we're going to go. Well, it's not a pattern, but. So it's just A flat.
And you play that down, up, down.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. And that's going to sidestep into G minor.
Shit.
Yeah, man.
I am advanced.
Hell yeah, man. Sounds dope watching somebody else play it.
Well, it's give me anything at quarter speed and I will thrive.
Yeah, man.
All right, so just to clear up, I'll play it real slow.
Yeah.
Christ. Oh my God. Whew. Okay. That works.
Yeah, man. So that's the second line, and a little shorter, but similar concept. You're basically connecting from one scale to the next with the common tone thing.
Okay.
The third one. All right, this one's a real pain in the ass, man. It's really going crazy with the Holdsworth movements, but here it is. Okay.
Sick.
Yeah, this
that one you should just play for the people. We shouldn't break it down. We should skip one so they have a desire to buy the package. But we'll play it.
You want me to play it though?
Yeah, I do want you to play it.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's so sick. Yeah, I mean that's the shit that like you look at it, like you look at his hands and it just like makes you want to like give up or spend your life doing it.
That's what I'm saying.
That fucking diagonal.
That's the shit that, man, when I just saw him play it, whatever that sound is, I'm just like, good Lord, man. Because it reminds me of a lot of things like you would hear like Coltrane do. And that just, what do you call it? The false fingering thing and constantly shifting the tonality and stuff. That sound is sick, man,
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, yeah, it's weird. I don't find myself listening to Coltrane too often anymore. It's like I don't know. I like guitar lately.
Yeah. Yeah.
The mood of that music is just like too like something. I'll listen to it and I have to stop because it'll really get me depressed and make me want to not play guitar and play saxophone. Oh, really?
I bought a tenor saxophone and I screw around with it every once in a while, and it's a lot. I think it's a lot funner practicing saxophone than it is guitar, mainly because the way it sounds.
Well, I had Dani in my life for so long that I've just had no desire to ever.
Yeah, you're good on that.
I'm totally good on that. They don't look like they're having a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Their community sucks. They don't have this.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'll have to really take a break from listening to saxophone stuff because, man, it'll really influence me to not want to play guitar and just work on saxophone stuff. But
okay, cool. Did you write more lines on G minor? Or are we going?
Yeah, we got one more on G minor, and then we got some stuff over some changes. So, all right,
what's the other G minor one?
All right, let's check it out. There you go.
Ooh.
There you go. You probably heard the diminished scale in there.
I didn't hear it. I just heard.
well, that's cool, man. Because I was like, God, dude, every time I use the diminished scale, it just sticks out so much. It's like, oh, he's in the damn diminished scale. You know what I mean?
Well, I didn't. That was not what came to my mind. I was just like, what the fuck was that? So you're still right where you want him.
That's good, man. That's good.
Yeah.
This one, we use 3 scales. So the first one is F, jazz major, add flat 3, flat 6, which obviously has a G minor 7.
Yeah, so that's kind of like it's Dorian. You're just using it's Dorian, basically.
Exactly. It's Dorian, yeah. And I found this pattern.
So it's like a Dorian, for the people at home that have listened to Brett, so it's kind of like Dorian flat 2, flat 5.
Exactly, flat 2, flat 5. Which for me, that scale, which I definitely, Brett got me into minor conversion pretty hardcore. But with that scale, I think about it as the major scale with the other 2 added notes.
Okay, you're done. Yeah. So you're thinking about it in F.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it as F.
When you go through minor conversion, it's just like you're typically through your church. Your preacher catches you in a dress, and then you have to see everything Dorian for a summer.
I'm sure. Yeah, right? Pretty much. I mean, I remember, God, that was a long time ago, but I just remember, I think Brett was telling me, like, man, like, think about just minor chords. He just wrote, like, a bunch of minor chords. I think it was over Stella by Starlight. And he just wrote out all the minor conversions, and I think I just flowed better through it, just thinking about it.
It makes perfect sense to me when you're looking at half diminished chords.
Yes, totally. Because it is a half diminished chord.
Yeah, and it's like that's the one where it's like you look at it, it's like like the connection's kind of hard
every time.
Yeah, but
every time.
For like playing over like an F major 7, for me, like especially the style of jazz that I play, it doesn't make sense to sort of float around in the scale. It's like you got to really play around chord tones. So it's when you're going for a modern sound, kind of like post bop and up, then it makes perfect sense. Yeah. All right. So what's the lick? How's it?
All right. So I found this pattern that basically goes like this. So this is like. And then a cool thing about this scale is you can play that same thing down a half step, but I did it up the octave. Yeah, that's a cool little thing. And that's something you see Holdsworth do a lot, is he'll play a pattern but go down in half steps while going up octaves.
Yeah, like I know that Brett has this line. Yeah. It's cool because it's like kind of touches that flat 9 right away. So
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And it has that kind of flat 5 sound in there too. All right, now from here we're going to go into C mode 3, and the way I'm thinking about this is thinking about G as the 2 and C7 as the dominant. So
it's the 2 and C7 is dominant. Okay.
So you have C mode 3, and then this phrase, I can't remember. Hold on. It's another Holdsworth movement. That thing.
So your C mode 3 is the same as E mode 3. So, okay. So it's kind of like, but the C mode 3, it has a C major triad, and that's the excuse to do it? Because does it have a G minor triad in it?
No, it doesn't have a G minor triad in it. It has, I'm just thinking of C7, basically.
It really seems to me like you can play whatever the fuck mode 3 you want.
If you play, that gets into a deeper discussion of like, if what you're playing has logic and contour, then it doesn't matter what you play, right?
Yeah. But if you're, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I can, I can give somebody like totally inside scales to play and they'll sound like shit over it if they can't do that, you know?
Sure, of course.
So, I mean, it's just a way, yeah, you can basically do whatever the hell you want, but to me, it's a way of organizing these things. Because if I just say, I'm just going to do whatever I want, I'm not going to do anything. Yeah. I'm just going to get overwhelmed. But if I think about basic functions, then I kind of, it makes it easier, right?
Okay, so you play this thing, and then from here, how'd you get up? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you know what, dude? I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. C Mode 3 does have a G minor triad in it, so.
It does?
Yeah. Before somebody calls me out on it, man. You know what I mean? So that's our C Mode 3 phrase. Oh, sorry. It's kind of like another Holdsworth movement kind of thing. And from there we go into G half hold diminished with a 4th E pattern. We're using the B as our common tone. That thing.
So those are minor thirds, major what?
These are fourths.
Oh. And tri.
Yep, and then we're gonna skip down here. You're doing it on the D and the B string.
I see.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
That's it, man.
Picking wise, just down, up, and hammer-ons?
I do down on all of them.
Down.
No, I guess I do down up because I just did. Yeah.
How's the music? You're string skipping. I'm so curious about the music. It's just choking it with your palm?
I think so.
I have a real problem muting. I think I don't palm mute this, like, do you touch with your palm like the top strings at all? Even in a lick like that?
Yeah, this part.
I don't do that, yeah.
Yeah, this part's like kind of barely touching.
Okay, I gotta get used to that. Just flatten it.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
So it stays in diminished for the rest of the lick. It's getting up there, so. So this is like a.
After that part, what's happening?
Like a 2-note per string thing.
Yeah? Oh, I see.
Then it's like a 4-note per string thing.
I see. Sick. Love it. Okay. Let's pretend I got it.
You got it, man. That was it. That's the whole line.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. All right, so I think this is enough information to keep the people busy.
Yeah.
So send me those. People will practice. They will worship you. They will become clones of you. And next time we will talk about how to do it over changes, because if we do more than that, nobody in their right mind will be able to practice. So let's plan on doing another one of these and sell another one of these packets.
Yeah, I mean, so do you want to do the next one like over the changes or like more one chord vamp stuff?
I think the next one should be Blue Bossa, and we'll open some minds and hearts.
Open some minds and hearts, man. Hell yeah.
Thomas, thank you so much for your time, and thank you guys for watching Fusion Chops.
Hell yeah, man. All right, thanks for having me, dude.
Awesome.
Have a good rest of your day, man.